Hi, I'm Julie. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I'm going to show you this article that someone sent to me today, and it was written in 2020, and it's about the reality show put on by the Higdon Group called Play to Win. It doesn't mention the Higdon Group, it doesn't mention rank makers, and it doesn't mention the name of the show, Play to Win, but it is talking about Play to Win. And I was floored that this was written in 2020 and it's 2023. I was still deep in rank makers and in Mon 8 in 2020. And seeing that someone had written about this, commented on how horrible this thing was, it's unreal. I'm so happy that somebody has, and maybe there's other people that have commented on that because people are starting to speak out about it now. So this is the article. It's called, it's from mlmtruth.org, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can see this. And there's 4 parts to this article, but the part that I'm going to show you is part 3. And so I'll just read this to you. 10 lessons learned from MLM mentors, part 3. So this was written in October 2020. There was 2 seasons of this reality show, happened in 2019 and 2020. This is part 3 of a 4-part series examining the various coaches and mentors who promise the secret pathway to success in MLM. It's also a guest post from the MLM Mentor Monitor, pseudonym. The MLM Mentor Monitor is the long-term watcher of the MLM world and an active critic of MLM. They have been spending some time observing the mentors, I was saying like mentor, Dementor, who offer training to MLM distributors at all levels on how to expand their businesses and reach success in network marketing. Here are 10 things the MLM Mentor Monitor was struck by during his voyage around the world of the MLM Mentor. I don't know why I keep saying that, mentor. It's a really good article. And it was validating for me to read this article. Like, this is exactly what Rank Makers was like. Looking at different anti-MLM content, it's really helpful because when you're in Rank Makers or a multi-level marketing coaching group, you're also in multi-level marketing. But many of us who have left these coaching groups, it's not enough because we don't see our stories reflected in a lot of the anti-MLM content. We go like towards like these cult stories because we have a lot of our like same experiences there. And yeah, and I'm not saying every single person has the exact same experience, but a lot of us do. And reading this article was like, somebody's talking about the coaching industry. And maybe there are people out there that are, and I'm still coming across content where people have made it years ago. And I'm like, I had no idea this was out there. So, I apologize if I haven't come across it yet. I've only been out for just over a year. And I'm going to milk that excuse, just like I was milked giving money to this group. Okay, so 10 lessons. So this is starting at number 6 in this 4-part series. Mentors encourage participants to use their systems and strategies. So it's going to we'll just get through number 6 because this is exactly like Rank Makers, but it's point number 7 where it really gets into like 7 and 8. You're going to see it's nuts. Proven strategy. Mentors love to use buzzwords like systems and strategies to give their tactics authenticity. The impression given to MLM participants is that if they follow the mentor's simple steps, their chances of crushing it. Ray always says that, crush it, rock star. You're crushing it. You're crushing it on TikTok. They're crushing it on Instagram. Crush your business. Crush it in 2023. Will increase, or more often or not, are guaranteed if followed correctly. In these types of talks, mentors usually stand armed with a pen and whiteboard to write a list of steps for participants to follow. I know there's other coaches out there that, this article is addressing because they're all the same. I'm speaking from my experience and speaking out for 2 other rank makers. I'm not like speaking out for them. I'm speaking out for myself, but giving a voice so others can, comment or just view this content. Maybe they might want to speak out one day. Who knows? And you don't ever have to, but making a comment is speaking out. So Ray would always have this whiteboard, and I was in Rank Makers starting in 2017, and it was always a whiteboard, and he was writing down things on it, and it's just ridiculous looking back. But that's exactly it. Just there's something about just seeing your story reflected from someone else that's outside of multi-level marketing that's so powerful. That's why, like, I want other people to be talking about rank makers. I don't want to be the only one doing it. You know, there's so much. You have a different perspective when you're outside of this, and we need to hear it. That's what's been really helpful for me anyway. So I'm just putting that out there. Please talk about it. Like I've seen, it seems that creators tend to like have their genre of what they speak to, but in this regard, the more voices, the better about rank makers. And if you ever want to have access to any kind of extra information, just let me know. Find me on Instagram. I've got a schwack load of stuff that you could react to or not, whatever. But this isn't cornering the market on talking about this. This is about helping people. Broadly speaking, of the mentors I listen to, the talks generally focus either on how to open, maintain, and close a sale, like traditional marketing between business and client, or how to connect with people and build relationships. Some mentors like to list their 5, 7, 10 steps. Others like to sell scripts. Oh my gosh, we learned scripts in rank makers. There was like even 29 ways to find leads. Would you be open to taking a look at what I do to help real estate agents make some extra money online? If not, no big deal. Oh, we had all this 100K inner circle coaching scripts. Yep. Some mentors also include talks on what to say to prospects with general lines and rebuttals to common objections. This is a pyramid scheme. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. And I purchased everything when I was in rank makers, as you'll see. That was one of these booklets, like common objections. And I think he would make, like Ray would do these live videos every day. And they just took whatever he said and then just made content, like really sloppy though. They just like put it everywhere. They just barfed it all over the internet, barfed it onto podcasts, just in its unedited form. So they would like barf it into these like booklets that we would buy. And it's a clunky way of speaking. But it's like, oh, well, this is the script. Just do this. This is what you can say if someone says it's a pyramid scheme. Then nobody talks like that, but I bought that. I'm not the only one. Again, there were no practical discussions about actually running a business. It's all about how to speak with people, knowing what to say and when to say it. And of course, how to maneuver around very reasonable questions about MLM. All right, number 7, mentors encourage participants to tell stories, lots of them. Trigger warning right now. Anytime anybody's talking about rank makers or 100K inner circle coaching, all the trigger warnings are in place. Please stop watching this video right now. If you're just, I can't list all the trigger warnings because you never know what you're going to get. It usually ticks all of the boxes, any trigger warning you can imagine. So please just don't watch it right now if you're not feeling it today. Okay. Did I tell you about how much mentors love telling stories? They recommend that participants should do likewise. Stories sell. And that's what we were taught in rank makers. Go to your company's events. And a lot of people, they tune out when they have the top income earners come across the stage and they're telling their stories. And we were coached. That's when you need to take notes. Get your notebook out, write down exactly, because then you will be armed with stories when you're prospecting. So someone says, well, I don't want to, I don't have the time. And you know that they're a bus driver. And then you'll say, well, at my company's event, like last month in September, there was a bus driver that ended up earning, $10,000 a month, and they did it part-time. Like, this is what we were coached to do. And it doesn't work, but we're just riveted taking these notes in this training. And then we go to our events and we're taking these notes all to learn stories. We're taking in stories. We're learning to tell stories. We're hearing stories. It's all bullshit. But it is not enough to simply type a post and stick it on Facebook or put your camera on for 20 minutes. Mentors are adamant that you should also know what to post, how to post it, and what content is best for attracting prospects. This article is spot on. Whoever wrote this, it's like you were in Rank Makers. Thank you for writing it. Every syllable of every word must be perfect to catch and maintain a prospect's attention. Content must be regularly posted to build momentum. It is a military operation over a mundane activity the rest of us use to speculate about trash TV, argue about politics, and share pictures of our cats. It feels so good to have someone that is outside of this speaking about it so clearly. I'm like, you've got it. Like, you understand. I also felt disgusted by the way mentors have no qualms about persuading their mentees to use upsetting, dark periods of their lives to tell a story. They welcome and encourage it because they argue if you reveal a period of weakness or difficulty and your subsequent recovery and success, with implied credit to the MLM, it will prove a useful persuasion. But this can be at a high emotional cost to the person being persuaded to reveal their vulnerabilities, which they may not have overcome at all. The lack of authenticity in this sort of story of hardship or tragedy to success is debilitating over time for someone with a conscience. This is exactly what I experienced. This is exactly what happened with me. I spoke about personal stuff in my life. I've talked about this in other videos. I'm not going to go into it here. This one, I'm just going to focus on like this article and then the play to win, because it gets into this. Mentors also take opportunity to encourage participants to identify a why that they can use to keep motivated in an MLM, even when the money utterly fails to come in. The targets of MLM are those in doubt about their lives or in a period of change, shift, or difficulty in their lives. One particular favorite group to target is mothers. It's common to see mentors posting photos of their children alongside genuinely unfortunate backstories. $1 million in debt, personal foreclosure, sleeping on my buddy's couch. We all heard that one over and over again. To attract attention and provide an emotional hook for distributors, leading them to believe that MLMs can open the door to a better life for them and their families. If you have a friend you know who is passionate about an MLM and posts content such as this, then there is a fair chance he or she was encouraged to use their family by a mentor. And that's how Ray builds himself. He builds himself as a mentor. Mentor. Why do I keep saying that? It's so weird. I have like difficulty pronouncing that word for some reason. Okay. If the last few points all sound familiar, then you have probably sussed that mentors are teaching participants to play the exact same psychological tricks on prospects that they themselves use on those MLM participants. How much of a mind fuck circle jerk is this? And it's true. I was coached, mentored to play these same psychological tricks that were being played on me. And then if you do recruit someone, it just keeps going on down the line. It's all about connecting to people and manipulating them using any trick in the book to purchase a product or join a team based on emotion, irrespective of whether they truly want to or can afford to. Exactly. Even if like getting to like Rank Makers live events, be this, there's telling stories of people who sold their children's toys that they didn't use anymore on Facebook Marketplace to scavenge up enough money to purchase their membership, their distributorship into some company. And that's held up as a good example. 8, mentors pop out of nowhere as instant larger than life success stories. From the opening, it's coming. The play to win is coming. It's in this one. But I think it's important to read through this article because it's kind of giving you more background from somebody else outside of this on what they see. It's important for other people to speak out about this because it's like people that are still within Rank Makers, like I want to see them get out. But it helps. They could be like, well, you're just complaining. Because that's the narrative. Anytime you leave a high control group, they're just a disgruntled, like angry person. They're just what they all say the same shit. So there are people that are listening, but it's like when we're in multi-level marketing, having like third-party credibility, it's a thing. Having someone else outside of it saying, yeah, that's bullshit can be more, can be heard better than someone that was actually within it speaking to the people. It's just, I don't know, maybe there's like some psychological reason for that, but I've seen it and I've experienced it myself. There's a voice, everybody's voice is powerful though, but anyway. Okay. From the opening introduction to a mentor's video, you often have their name, smile, and lavish lifestyle thrown into your face. Oh yeah. This is then typically followed up with quick fire bullet points explaining that they have been MLM experts for 10, 20, 30 plus years, that they are best-selling authors. We've all heard that, best-selling authors. I want to comment on that. So in Rank Makers, books would be sold like from Ray and Jessica, but it's primarily Ray. And you're like, okay, if you want a 10-minute coaching call with me, leaders purchase like a bundle of 10 books or 50 books. And then everybody, if our new books are released, please go to Amazon and leave a positive review. So you're in a high control group. All of us are good little cult members. We all troop on over, we'll purchase the book, and we think it's amazing. Oh, freakishly effective. Oh, that book. And then everybody will be leaving these 5-star reviews, and it's because we're like coerced to do it. We don't realize it. That's what he does. And then he'll have like his video or his book, whatever latest best-selling author book, self-published or whatever book in the background, be like, you know, it's like subconsciously there. It's supposed to be, oh, we got to buy this book. And then we'll constantly talk about whatever is in the title. Time, Money, Freedom was another book. Just asking all rank makers to go onto Amazon and leave a review. Like, this is deceptive. Yet another example of the deceptive nature. Best-selling author. Even if you Google these multi-level marketing coaches, what comes up, they bill themselves as authors. They don't want to bill themselves as a network marketing coach or even a mentor. They want to be known as an author. Look out, authors. They're like vying with you. They're competing with you. That they reach the top rank of their company, check, within so many months or years. Yes, that's also one. And that they regularly speak in front of thousands of people all across the world. They wear designer brands. So this is not it, because Ray has his own clothing line with, it's like HG on it. It's really weird. It's been going on for some time. I bought a lot of that merch. A lot of us did, but it's like he's always wearing it. Like 14-day challenge. I think that's gone now. They've got to do something else, because I've been belly aching so loud about the internet. I think it's like it's making an impact. Default setting gratitude, show up and do it anyway. All these obnoxious bumper sticker reduction quotes on these shirts. It's all he wears. So it's not, he doesn't wear designer brands, but he's like branded himself. It's so weird. They jet around the world. They drive flashy cars. They live in big houses, all thanks to MLM. Yes. Yet when researching the mentors online, I found more often than not that their histories have very little before the launch of their services. Oh yeah, it's sketch. Generic mentors, those untied to a particular MLM, never mention which MLM they specifically made their money in, meaning it is on you to do the research to try and find out more about them. This was the case when I was in Rank Makers for the 5 years I was in. It was after I left that then they started publishing. It was like, oh, I was in Numis. But all in those 5 years, I remember Ray doing training saying, people want to know what company I was with. Well, no, they can just Google it. Like, they type in my name and I can see, like, they're saying, what MLM was he in? What MLM was Ray in? What MLM was Ray Higdon in? And we just thought that that was really okay. And it is weird. And it's just another thing, just seeing somebody else writing this and pointing it out. That's just, yeah, that's like fucked up. They all do this. It's rather like the beginning of the Terminator, where Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I can't even say, Dementor, Schwarzenegger's naked murderous cyborg randomly appears on a street, then wanders about wreaking havoc. Mentors just spontaneously appear, instantly successful, with a passion to share their success and knowledge with as many people as possible. So with Rank Makers, it was more, he would say, I showed up until I took my business seriously. And then I did these 3 things. And you'd hear other stories. It's very only sporadically where he'd say I was in 11 different MLMs before I got into. He's very careful, like a curated approach to what stories he would tell. And it was like, it was all glossed over. We never knew what company he was with. We never knew. It wasn't until after I'd been speaking out that I heard, and he did a video about, he was in pre-launch. That's when he became the #1 income earner. All of us like ex-rank makers were like, no way. Are you kidding me? Never once did we hear that. But he did say that he didn't have success until he decided to show up, and he went for 20 no's a day, and he's only knows 3 other people on the entire planet, this planet, not Xenu, but this planet Earth. And he's one of them. And all of them became millionaires. I'm not saying that's what caused it, but ... fucking ellipsis, like fill that in, fill the rest of the sentence. That's what it means. It's like nobody else goes for 20 no's a day. And that's like hounding people enough that you've sent out so many prospecting messages where they are forced not to just ignore you, but to say no. That's what he says. But he got in at pre-launch. He probably prospected people just like every other single person does. He never did anything out of the norm, didn't manifest better, didn't do better personal development. It's all bullshit. Okay, all you have to go on is, you guessed it, they're tried and trusted stories. That is certainly not to say that all mentors are lying when they claim they made it big in an MLM in the past. From the evidence I've managed to see, it's apparent that at least one enjoyed success with a particular MLM, which, surprise, surprise, was criticized for essentially being a pyramid scheme and no longer appears to be in operation. Mentors will do whatever they can to boost their profiles. In one particular example, I came across a mentor who ran their own reality TV show, and this is Play to Win, put on by the Higdon Group. Essentially, it is a knockoff of The Apprentice. And if you've seen any of the reaction videos I've done commenting on that show, you'll know. It's like, yeah, that's it, exactly. The cheesy music. Ugh. And involves participants flying in from across the United States and the wider world to win the prize of MLM coaching for a year or a job within the company. People flew in from Canada and Australia at their own expense. They had to pay for this. They had to pay to get there, and they had to be grateful about it too. Contestants have a 1-minute interview to pitch their skills. Then, during a sales round, they have 5 minutes to run around downtown selling bags or journals to random members of the public. It is an incredibly half-baked program that focuses more on the mentor than it does on the contestants, who effectively have only 6 minutes each to convince the mentor that she is worthy of winning the prize. In my view, the true purpose of the show is nothing more than to boost the profile of the mentor. And I agree. It is. That is exactly the purpose of the show. I should also mention that this show demonstrated the horrific exploitation of personal grief of some contestants that the mentor believed should form the basis of their inspirational stories, as I touched on earlier. This included tragic examples of rape and loss of loved ones discussed during the interview process. I could only shake my head and sigh as I heard the mentor shamelessly say that people need big, impactful stories to help them on their MLM journey, but at what price to the individual distributor? Well, we're seeing the fallout of that now in 2023. Anybody that was on this reality show, I'd like you to know that what happened to you is not your fault. And you're not alone anymore. The truth is coming out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.